Hi, this is Katie Gamble here with my buddy Charlie Coon for another episode of Clarksville's Conversation, where we talk about fun facts and things that are happening in the community. So today, Charlie is going to introduce our guests who have done some pretty amazing things, huh?
Yeah, they're working on a project at Fort Campbell called the Gold Star Families Memorial Monument, and it's in the process. We're in the process of this, but I would like you to welcome Miss Kelli Pendleton and Miss Nancy Mullen. They're on the committee that's getting this project rolling.
Thank you, guys. How many people are on this committee?
4.
Oh my gosh.
Just 4.
It's been a lot of work, hasn't it?
It has been a lot of work.
So it surprises me that there wasn't a Gold Star Memorial before this.
It surprised me. So the way it all came about, I was in D.C. For a whole nother event and became good friends with a Gold Star wife who is from Salt Lake City, which is where I'm from originally. And so she and I started talking, and she was in the process of getting a Gold Star monument established there in Utah because there wasn't one. And she said, "Oh, you know, let's go online. There's a website. We'll see if there's one in your region." And I'm like, I just assumed.
Of course we've got one.
Of course we've got one because I've been, unfortunately, since 03, I just thought for sure there had been one. And so we got online and there wasn't. There were some, there was 1 or 2 in northern Kentucky, but there wasn't anything in Tennessee or even the Fort Campbell region. And so I just thought, well, we have to do this. So I called my good friend Charlie Coon, who gets passionate like I do about projects, and so I said, "Hey, I've got this idea. What do you think?" And I move a little bit slower than Charlie does, but he kind of took my hand and we started running with it, and we've just been able to really move forward and fast, and it's been we've had overwhelming support for it. But we knew that we wanted the input from Gold Star families, and we didn't just want it to be our thing. We wanted their perspective and their insight because it's for them.
Right.
And so we have both had briefly, I think Charlie made a little bit more experience, had come across Nancy. We were introduced to her through General Brower, who was the 5th Group commander, a Special Forces commander. And so that's how this all got started. And then the person who oversees, it's funny because when I first told Charlie about it, I was like, well, I'll just call the number on the website and see. And it turned out that the headquarters was in Kentucky, and the person who was one of the directors or program directors I knew and had a relationship with, she was a speaker at one of our events and was from the area, and her father was killed in Vietnam, and she had an incredible story that was just so heartwarming and touching. And so she said, "Oh my goodness, I'm so glad you guys are finally doing one in our area," because she's been helping coordinate them all over the country, but there hadn't been one here. So that's the 4 of us.
So there's a set organization that kind of coordinates on the same type thing around the country?
The Woody Williams Medal of Honor Foundation is who the programs run through. So the monuments all are shaped the same and pretty much look the same, but they can be customized, for lack of better terms, with some pictures and some things that might reflect better to your area.
Gotcha. So Nancy, when they called you and told you about this project, what were some of the things that you thought were going to be important to you in this?
You mean when Charlie kind of twisted my arm? You have to do that.
He tends to volunteer people even without even asking them sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was a choice. But
I apologize.
No, I'm very honored to be part of this project. I think it's just very important just to bring awareness to what a Gold Star is. There's a lot of people, even in the military communities, which I find somewhat surprising, that don't realize or understand what a Gold Star family is and what that means. So I think this is a good way to bring some awareness to that. So I really wanted to be a part of it. And I also wanted to make sure that when we were doing this, that it would be representative of all of our Gold Star families, regardless of how their loved one was lost. So I think reaching out to get the input from Gold Star families, I think, has been very important.
So we know what Gold Star families are, but somebody watching this may not. So you just want to briefly kind of tell everybody what that does mean?
Sure. So a Gold Star family member is a member who has lost someone in service. So there's a couple different varying definitions out there as far as the loss, but to me, every loss is the same, and every loss is heartbreaking. When it's a member of our military, or even those who used to serve, who passed in retirement. So. Not sure how that.
No.
I mean, it's, and for Kelly and I to be part of the project, it's really an honor for us to be associated with this, but, we need input from people that really know what it means, and we're learning. We're learning as civilians, but Nancy and Cindy have great input and help us guide along. We can go out and raise money and do some things like that, but when it comes time to, what does some of the design work look like? What do certain pictures mean to certain people? We need that input, and it's invaluable.
Right.
And one thing we learned from, our conversations with Cindy and Nancy and other Gold Star family members, and sometimes people will even reference this, or they'll let me and say, hey, that Gold Star Wives Monument, or the Gold Star Moms Monument, Mothers Monument. And one thing that they shared with me was that, oftentimes the mothers and the spouses are the ones that immediately contacted or identified, but sometimes it's the brothers and the dads and the cousins and nephews and aunts and uncles. And so this truly represents, it's a place for the families as a whole. And they've also, Nancy, when the monuments, although they tend to look similar, the images will change. And so her perspective on those images were just perfect every time, because we thought, what we knew, what we wanted, but to give her perspective it just made it that much, more special, because we knew she had been through that and felt that. And so it was what the Gold Star families identify with when they look at those pictures may be totally different than what we do. And so that's important feedback to have.
I think one thing is important to know about this too. When you think of Fort Campbell, you default to the 101st Airborne, right? Because that's the big logo. That's what everybody knows. But you've got 5th Group 160th and other folks out there. This is not just 101st.
Right.
This is for all military. Doesn't matter which branch of service or any of that. So
where will the monument be located at? Do y'all have that yet?
Yes. So when you drive through Gate 4, the main gate, you will come to the intersection. Most people identified the Burger King and the museum are there on your right. And so there's a little piece of property. It's along the Monument Row. There's a lot of monuments in that area, but it's right there. And it's perfect location. It's dead center of
high traffic.
Yep, high traffic. And so I think it's going to have great visibility. So we're looking to create a complete different look for that one little area in that
That's
space.
exciting.
Yeah, and I think one thing that's important to mention is when we approached Fort Campbell with the idea of this monument, there was not a pushback factor. It was like, how can we help you?
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
So the folks out there are very supportive in our efforts. So it's helping a lot.
One thing I do want to mention that I love about this monument, a lot of times there's a monument and then it's there, and occasionally it'll get people to come through, but what this Woody Williams Foundation does is they hold different events throughout the year, educational events, talking just about what Nancy was speaking of, educational opportunities, it could be your leadership group to stop by, and a time to stop and reflect and to learn about what a Gold Star family means and what they have sacrificed as well.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think it's an important piece. What do you, Nancy, I want to ask you this, and we've talked about this a little bit before. We know what Gold Star families are, but how can something like this affect a family, or what use is it? What's the benefits of having this?
Well, I think for every Gold Star family, obviously they worry about their loved one being forgotten, that person
Yeah.
themselves. But then also, what happens when you lose, especially if you're the immediate family that is living on military installation or in the community, and you lose that service person that was your connection to the military. And sometimes it's not only the loss of your loved one, but you feel a loss of that military community. And so I think with this, it's sort of a reach out to those families that you're not forgotten either, and that you're still part of this community. And having it on Fort Campbell, I think, is very special for that reason, that it's still that connection, that tie that binds, that we're still part of that family, and that recognition is being there. And also with it being on Fort Campbell, I think it also sort of reaches out to those guys and gals who've lost somebody who are still serving, a place for them to go as well, and to be able to reflect on their loss too, because that's a very real loss, and it gives them a place to come and reflect, and to think about the families, to think about the person that they lost as well.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Right. So when do y'all expect this to be completed?
So,
They're pointing at they're blaming
I
him.
defer to Kelly for a timeline.
Yeah.
the goal, I believe, is the fall.
Okay. And you guys did really, like, when I remember you telling me that when you were doing your fundraising, everybody wanted to help. It was
Everybody, seemed
Yeah.
to really want to help. I mean, Charlie just, again, was so instrumental in kind of getting things really off to a great start. So we just really, everybody was so generous and so supportive of it that we were able to really reach some goals pretty quickly. And now we're in the design phase of the landscaping and where everything goes. But we're hoping by the fall.
Yeah, the fall of 2021.
Okay, so
And,
a few months away.
And we have raised some money, and probably I'd say the majority, but not all, because as we're working through the landscape design, we'll know better what our final budget's going to
Right.
be. So there's plenty of opportunity out there for anybody that wants to contribute, whether it's $5 or $5 million. We don't need that much, but it'd be
Right.
nice.
You could find something, couldn't you?
But,
Yeah.
you know, you can go on the website, and you can donate whatever dollar amount you want to. It's all tax deductible, and you know exactly where it's going.
So if I want to donate, tell me what website, where do I go?
So the website is, I think they may be changing it soon, but the website's kind of a long website. So the easiest way to do it is to go to our Facebook page.
Okay.
And if you go to the Fort Campbell Gold Star Memorial page, we do have a link on there that will
Okay.
take you right there. I mean, it is
It is not that long.
HWMOHF.
Yeah, it's not that long.
Yeah, it's a long one.
But our Fort Campbell Gold Star Memorial Facebook page is the best place to go, and you'll get information, and you can like us there and follow us, and then there is a place where you can make a donation to our memorial.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty awesome. I love that you had an idea and were able to turn that vision into something.
Yeah,
You know.
we're excited, and and there's also, we're not just looking at paying for the monument itself, but also landscaping and trees, and we want to make it a place that you go and have a sense of serenity and calm and quiet, and so we're going to make this space happen right there in the middle of a busy intersection.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing about that too is it's easy for people to get to, and it'll be top of mind because they'll see it a lot.
Right.
It'll get a lot more visibility.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting time, and like Kelly was talking about, the infrastructure needs. We still have to figure all that and get an architect kind of tweak some things for us, but we're well on our way for sure.
Well, I'm going to be the one to thank Charlie and Nancy and Kelly, and who was the fourth person helping you guys?
Cindy Stonebreaker.
Cindy, I mean, I think that this is a pretty awesome thing. 'Cause like I said in the very beginning, I was really surprised that there wasn't a memorial for Gold Star families.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's other things out there that we're missing that you guys can do next.
There probably are some things out there. But the committee really plays a minor role in this, and I don't want to slight the work we've done, but when you can call people, or just the partnership with Fort Campbell, huge. When you can call people and say, this is kind of what we're thinking, do you want to be a part of it? And almost 100% of the people say, yes, how can I help? And now it's time for us to give that opportunity to some folks that want to contribute in whatever way they can. So it's really a call to arms. Anybody that wants to participate and be a part of this, we welcome you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, congratulations, guys, and thank y'all for coming and sharing this story with us.
Thanks for having us. It's
Yeah,
always
thank you,
good to come and
definitely.
hang out with you guys. It's always good to see you.
Yeah,
We
you
don't-
need to let
we
it.
don't get to see each other enough anymore, especially.
know,
So it's
right?
good to come
I
out
know.
and-
It's all audio. Well, let us know when it's like the big ribbon cutting so we can make a big
Yeah.
to-do about it.
You have to come.
We will. I will,
That'd be
for
great.
sure.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks.